Hello, everybody. Welcome to a world of darkness. Um, yes, we're going to play some Werewolf. Werewolf, here, wolves. Here are all my wolves. Um, in the interest of hitting the ground running and doing kind of one-shot tech here, forgive me, I'm going to read a bunch of block text. The one is kind of an upfront intro, then it's going to be kind of a timeline of how we got to where we are. So we can hit the ground running, but you at home can also get the jokes and the how we got here. Also, watch our episode 0. I think it was a lot of fun. But before any further ado, welcome to the Unbreakable Butterfly Ranch, a sanctuary for trans folks, particularly those who would be unwelcome in what homes they have fled or were pushed out from. As many as 40% of unhoused youths identify as LGBTQIA+, and there is simply no way to reach them all. But any who hear of our little ranch are welcome here. Here you will have a home, purpose in chores, helping care for the sheep around the ranch, and as each member is ready to take their next steps from hormone blockers to T or E supplements, full through to confirmation surgeries, through fundraising, selling our wool and merchandise, and our backers. Due to recent events, you will also be taught how to protect yourself from a dangerous world of darkness. The founders are Bunny and Ben, two salt-of-the-earth folks out in the wide open country who just wanted to help. However, this ranch has one more additional secret. The land is built over an old, spiritually rich cairn, a sacred place to Guru, the werewolves. Only recently rediscovered sitting in the shadow of mountains rich in silver, the bane of werewolves anywhere. The ranch is itself something of a rescue, and it has some additional protectors in the Unbroken Shield Pack. Let's take a minute to introduce the Unbroken Shield Pack. Andy, or should I say Mel?
Hey, yeah. Hey. Let's see. What are my things? I am Mel Gorley. It's not short for anything. Don't worry about it. I am a homid bonar theurge. Theurge? I should know.
Which is how I always said it, but
Theurge. So I like trash and I talk to trash spirits. Let's see. I'm a lesbian. That's important.
hashtag yes, all lesbians.
Yes, all lesbians. Lesbians on hashtag purposeful lesbians. Let's see. Mel left. Mel ran away from home at 13 because she found out she was a werewolf. Came out to her dad. Her dad somehow wasn't cool with that, and she was like, "What the fuck? Like, I thought being a werewolf would be the worst thing." No, okay. So she ran away from home, started talking to trash spirits in Philadelphia, and then made her way out here. Very biker aesthetic, sort of shoulder length, kind of wavy, dark hair, with probably more gray in it than her age would suggest. But she's in her late 30s. Backwards ball cap. She's pretty tall, 5'10". She has a bunch of like feminist, all caps are bastards, smash the patriarchy patches, motorcycle outlaw patches, and the back patch of her denim vest is just wolves, because of course it is. And she usually wears a black t-shirt with either a local baseball team, a construction company, or some sort of literally eat the rich slogan on it. And her boots are ready to crush the neck of the patriarchy.
Very good, very good. Very on brand. And if you can survive the trash spirits in Philadelphia, that's a hell of a crucible.
Question, as a non-Philly native, what other kind of trash spirits are there?
Well, you know of Gritty, our patron trash spirit. Rats lay eggs here. I just want to say that.
Yeah. It's been a real problem.
Do the pigeons
and then they throw those eggs?
Yeah.
We have boo birds. It's a particular problem.
Mm-hmm. Batteries just randomly hurl themselves out of trash cans at people.
Yeah.
People think we throw them. No, they're being thrown at us.
Yeah.
We're trying our best.
We're all suffering. And Pats and Genos are trash.
Yes. Yes.
I said it.
Eagles fans. They're invasive. It's an invasive species.
Yeah, actually, most of the population of Philadelphia are trash spirits.
Yeah.
I said it. The only time I like Philadelphia is when I'm talking to Yinzers across the state.
Yeah, Wawa is better than Sheets, though.
For sure. Fetterman. Go back to your Pittsburgh. Okay. Well, very good.
Also,
very good.
No one hurt me. I say it from a place of love.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to vote for you. CC, or should we say Camila?
Kia. Hi, I'm Camilla. I am a child of Gaia. Metis Galliard? Is that how you... I don't know how to...
I think it's Métis, but I always said Metis, and that's almost certainly wrong. So Metis is better than that, and I believe Métis is what I'm going to try and keep saying, but I'm going to fall back on old habits. So forgive me if someone speaks better rural Canadian French.
I'm the one that was born as a werewolf. There we go. Nailed it.
You were born a sin,
Yeah.
in fact.
Congratulations to me.
Well did.
So I was born in New Zealand, and decided to got some wanderlust. Wanted to go and travel the States. Went and got my degree in the States in art therapy, and just like traveled around trying to find myself for a while, and ended up here on the ranch. And I'm just I'm helping out in any way that I can, really.
Very good. Very good. And you do have antlers, is that correct?
Yes. So when in like my human form, I usually am wearing like a hat of some kind, usually, vintage Amish style hat, but gotta wear vintage, gotta shop secondhand, gotta thrift, me. But yeah, when I'm in, the full rage beast werewolf form, they just come out,
Understood. Come out just like both you and Mel did. All right, NJ, or should we say Angie?
Hi.
Wow. Inspiring.
Hello.
Yeah, so Angie is our resident wolf-born wolf. But I believe wolf with an iPad is the concept.
Wolf with an iPad is the concept.
And backstory is a bunch of wolves escape as soon as they upgrade the locks to electronical. Is that...
Yeah, more or less. There was this weird rash of cell phones going missing from people who went into the enclosures.
Mm-hmm.
And the electronic locks went in on schedule, and then suddenly, like, half the enclosures were empty.
Interesting. I hope they sort that out someday.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
All right,
They're
so that's
not my problem anymore.
That's right. So that is our unbroken shields. Very good, very good. All right, so now to catch you folks up at home, y'all have read the doc, so you kind of know what's going on. But I want to. There's been a series of mishaps that have kind of gotten us to the state that we're going to find our start of game here, our game state. So one, the ran opened up outside of Podunk Town, outside of Podunk City, without much fanfare, bad or good. Folks looked twice, as folks are wont to do, but the ranch and the little unicorns who came here through were treated with the same level of ambient grossness they were elsewhere, but nothing special. However, things took a turn during a 4th of July parade, when local groups marched in the streets waving 3% or Oath Keeper flags, surrounded by obvious diet Nazi biker gang, the Mighty 88s. So Bunny took to social media, tagging Westbridge City Hall to say, "Wow, actual Nazis at the 4th parade. Hashtag Westbridge Pride." This put them in the crosshairs of not just the marchers in the parade, but otherwise proudly ignorant citizens of town who don't understand why you can't say the N-word anymore, but hate nothing more than being accused of bigotry. Should have went over these notes as more of an introduction than things I said in a document. All right, the town turned from sideways glances to open sniffing and snorting. The more antagonistic forces started following the ranchers when they had to go to town, and would sometimes just show up at the edge of the ranch, sitting ominously in their trucks. Bunny and Ben made the decision that it wasn't enough to call themselves a safe space. They began gathering and training the bunnies in how to use firearms. They wouldn't always have a pack of werewolves around for protection, and it was important they could all protect themselves. Next, more than once the pack or Bunny and Ben themselves had to escort drunken locals or tack-geared militia cosplayers off their property. This on top of some wider spread media coverage, which made it clear the ranch wasn't going to just disappear overnight uninvestigated, which, contrary to expectations, started to cool things down. It's easy to intimidate unarmed and frightened girls just trying to get good to the pharmacy. It's another thing to flash iron on your hip and have your target do the same back at you. There was even maybe some respect in the kind of people who may never understand, but liked pluck and grit because their textbooks lied to them that pluck and grit were unimpeachable values. Even still, a trench was dug around the ranch, extra fencing and motion sensors have been put up, and every night they keep watch. No one goes to town alone anymore. When they do, they have a very short list of safe places where the worst that's expected is to be misgendered by someone's nearsighted grandma in the checkout line. Things are tense, but were considered the right side of dangerous. However, a new batch of trouble started when Paris, a recent addition who fancies herself a social media maven, started her own GoFundMe-style page for her treatments and surgeries. While this was done innocently enough, she honestly wanted to alleviate the cost from the ranch if she could. With the ranch increased media presence and scrutiny from concerned parent groups, started asking questions about how the ranch was funded and how they spent their money. All in the interest of concern, of course, not as cover for their hate and ignorance that anyone should live in a way that they didn't understand. A silly controversy to be sure, but one now that legitimized questions about the ranch's mission and accounting, especially since Ben can't exactly publicly state that he purchased the ranch with werewolf money. This got them on the radar of once beloved author of teenage sorcerer fiction DJ Crawling, who now is full-time, dressed up in concerns for the children, leaping any excuse to fan the flames of even the dumbest controversies or propped-up studies that feed her confirmation bias. She left on this minor gossip item on a slow news day and blew it up to the national attention, all about how this ranch was indoctrinating kids and stealing their money probably or something. She just knew it was bad probably. Secondly, it got them on the radar of Pentex, who never noticed how much silver was in that there hill. Suddenly the financial and legal scrutiny of how the ranch came to be and what right Bunny and Ben had to the land had big money TM behind its inquiries. So now, with the town in a bit of a roll for increased news items tagged with their town name, Royal for increased news items tagged with their town name, getting the militia cosplayers to start chirping again, a major mining company petitioning the town hall that if they were allowed to do business in these mountains, it would be a real boom for Westbridge, and beloved's children author hosting a rally outside the ranch. Things are looking pretty bad for our little sheep sanctuary. Hashtag, when will you rage? And that's where we find ourselves. In fact, outside of the ranch perimeter is a tent, like an evangelical tent, where DJ Crawling has a group of concerned mothers and citizens and media groups who have nothing better to do, ginning up and talking about all kinds of just nonsense about boys in dresses and other dumb shits and what will ever happen to our daughters. And doing that in front of y'all, which is making it hard to come and go yourselves. You have supplies. I mean, you've basically become kind of a bit of a survivalist instinct. So you guys are well stocked for a little bit, but it's inconvenient at best. And it's kind of tying the hands of our werewolf protectors here because you can't exactly go out on camera and dump her books or tear her in half.
Watch me try.
I would like to brick all of their phones remotely.
Okay. We will get to that. So, yeah, that's kind of happening outside. That started to bring, in the interest of kind of this gathering that's starting to expand, a lot of those old truck boys back, like where they just kind of sit ominously, crack beers, and sit on their tailgates with noticeable firearms on display.
I would like to brick all their phones remotely.
Yeah, very good. That will be your first roll. So everyone's kind of, at first, kind of like, well, we'll sit it out a little bit. It is now on day 3 of this thing, and it shows no sign of slowing or stopping. Everyone's vigilant, everyone's a little strung out on lack of sleep, and everyone is getting a little bit on edge in the ranch. Now, you guys kind of come and go like mysterious benefactors to a lot of the girls because they don't exactly know what werewolves are. Only 2 people here are even kinfolk. I think Bunny's a little wiser, but has to occasionally be reminded because her brain keeps trying to erase the fact that no, supernatural. Yes, that's real. They come and go into that closet, disappear into a mirror, into an otherworldly glade. That's happening. Because there is a cairn just on the other side of the Umbra, or the Veil. So yeah, things are getting to the point where it's being discussed what's going to actually be done. It's not going to go away. DJ Crowling's just getting more attention and hits for this. And oddly, once you become a TERF, it seems like your full-time job, apparently. You sacrifice all other aspects of your personality to be this one thing as hard as you can. Great, Joanne. Sorry, Joanne.
It's Joanne Crowling, right?
That's right. Joanne Crowling. And so...
That's what the DJ stands for.
That's right. Joanne Crowling. Best-selling author of children's sorcerer fiction. So, yeah, we've got... I'm going to say that Sam and Danny are kind of on watch. They're checking like the perimeter cameras. They're kind of looking straight out the windows, while most of the girls and Ben are kind of like sitting towards the center of the house. They're clear of any windows, right? We're all taking this seriously. They've drilled this before, but everyone's kind of like packed in, and especially Angie, with your sense of smell, it's tense around here sometimes on the best of nights because it's more hormones than a teenage prom going on around here. And so it occasionally gets very snippy. Gwen in particular is a real troll and seems content to keep pulling on Paris's braids, and Paris keeps rising to the fight. And Lucina just wants everybody to get along, but like it's tense, but they get along and even have some laughs. Right now there's no laughter and hasn't been in a little bit here. You guys are kind of around and observing, as you've been kind of told to leave it alone by Ben, and Moonflower even has backed it up of like, hey, if we put negativity out there, we're going to get negativity back. Enough, Moonflower.
It's on our doorstep, Moonflower.
They have guns and beer, bad beer. Mel's offended. So yeah, let's share a moment with you three as you kind of talk amongst yourselves as a pack about how many cell phones you can brick and how much that will solve the problem.
Make me feel better.
All I'm saying is they won't remember anything when I tear them in half.
Yeah, but then I don't think that's going to solve any problems, Mel.
Elaborate.
It seems like it would just bring more, like, kind of like what Moonflower is saying, like it's just going to bring like more negative attention back onto the ranch if like a bunch of people turn up dead.
Look, I am all for low profile. This isn't low profile anymore.
Yeah, so killing them won't make it any less low profile?
What about maiming?
I think that might just make it like just as bad. Because then they would still be around to like spread the news of like, hey, I got maimed outside of this ranch, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull 2 beers out of my cooler and do that thing that cool people can do where they knock off both things with like their foot, but like they like kick it so that it knocks both caps off, and we'll hand one to like put one by Angie. Start drinking one and offer one to Camilla as well.
Oh no, thanks. I've got booch.
It is slightly alcoholic. I just... Angie, you can brick their phones?
I love it, Jay.
Fucking rad.
Jay is speaking to us in emojis in chat. And it's a brick, a telephone, and a question mark.
I'll leave chat open from now on.
I mean, that's not the worst idea.
That will cut down on some of the influencer attention, but there's actual media outlets out there, too. So you're going to have to brick their cameras or their news feeds as well.
And I also don't think the gun-toting alcoholics in their trucks are going to care much if their cell phone that's from like 1994 breaks anyway.
Damn you, Consumer Cellular. Probably owned by Pentax. Am I right?
I mean, probably. They own
Almost certainly
everything.
Angie's right. This just sucks.
Cry emoji from Angie. Yeah, well, and I told you, Bill, hashtag New Confederacy isn't taking off. They're not even trying to brick our cell phones. I've been broadcasting for a half hour. I've got 2 viewers. This is doing numbers.
One of them's you.
Oh, shit, it's you, Bill.
Damn it. I'm the moderator.
Would it kill you to leave a comment, Bill?
Hashtag smash the patriarchy. That's not what we're trying to smash, Bill.
God damn it, Bill. Every day with this shit.
I mean, maybe, like, me and Paris could try and drum up some, like, opposite, like, social media attention to, like, combat their social media attention. But that just kind of feels like maybe that's going to bring more people, but there would be more people on our side.
You want, like, counter-protesters?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
I just want these kids to be safe.
I mean, me too, but, like, I don't know. It's kind of like the police aren't probably going to help, you know?
No, fuck the police.
So, like, and I don't think that going out there toting our guns or turning into giant rage beasts is going to help.
It's not going to help. See, you keep losing me.
Yeah, not particularly helpful in this instance. I mean, we'll keep it up on the board, but like right now, not the most helpful thing in the world.
No bad ideas. And yes, by the way, the cops are out there, and ever since the trucks started showing up, they've been hanging out with them, cracking beers with them, for instance.
They're
Because
drinking.
whether you're AMAB or AFAB, ACAB still exists. Very proud of myself.
Now we got a clap emoji.
Yes.
Yeah. Plan A. I still think we should go right to Plan B.
And A is Plan B.
Let's see. They're drinking piss water too out there. It's just absolute garbage. Hams? Really?
Yeah, well.
They're importing Baltimore swill? Why? Okay.
I mean, listen, that's not the only thing that we could, pick apart about what they're doing out there. Feels like the least important thing is their beer choice.
It's something that I feel like I can hold over them right now. Kind of try and do a centered breathing, as I have been taught.
Yeah, what's that sound like?
It's supposed to be 4 in, hold, 4 out, hold.
Mm-hmm.
So, and repeated. It's centered breathing or something like that. It's more like, it's kind of just a series of huffs.
And you gotta breathe in, like, with your diaphragm, like,
Oh, now I can't
Disgruntled
breathe.
Lamaze.
I'm sure Moonflower could, walk you through it.
I don't want to sound sorry. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna, I don't want to sound like the old woman that I am. I want them off my lawn.
A glass breaks, and there's a series of "fuck yous," "why don't you make me's," and a lot of noise and excitement coming from the ranch kitchen. Like, as if literally everyone lost their shit at once. You don't know what the inciting incident was. You don't know the match that got lit that set the whole kitchen off, but there is a ball of tension, and someone, probably Gwen, decided to strike a chord. Um, it's loud. It's hard to discern whose voice is what. It stops me from having to do a ton of voices at once. But yeah, it's everything you expect. It's, Gwen antagonizing Paris, Paris rising to the challenge, Lucina trying to get them to calm down. But oddly, like, Bunny is starting to lose her shit. Like, usually she tries or goes and shoots some guns to blow off steam when she can't even with these kids anymore. But, like, she's starting to holler, like, if she just yells louder than them, it's going to work out. Ben is usually quiet, but even they're kind of huffing and puffing a little bit. But Moonflower's sitting at the door, kind of observing the whole room. And kind of in between you guys, where I'm presuming you're kind of like more in the frontish room where Danny and Sam would be kind of posted up at the windows looking at the monitors and stuff like that. Like, they look away to kind of be like, what the hell? But, like, they're on watch or whatever, so.
I'll just look at Camilla.
What we need
Is this a problem I can solve by flopping over onto someone and aggressively cuddling them?
I mean, I think
Plain egg.
I think that's a good, like, here and now solution, maybe for the girls, but we need, like, something productive for people to do to get their minds off of things and they're not just, like, worrying, and then we need to solve this problem.
Now Bunny's talking about just shooting every fucking one of them.
Okay.
Not the kids.
We're in. We're
Yeah.
in there. I mean, I agree. But
Finally.
not in front of the kids.
No, everyone just need to calm down. Maybe everybody go to, like, their own corner. Try and do something with your hands for a little bit. Like, just, get those emotions out in a way that's non-destructive for everyone.
None of these people are over 20. I'm sorry. There are obvious adults, right? It's Ben and Bunny.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is under 21, right?
Yeah, Sam and Danny, I presume, are young adults or college age, so one of them has an even shot at being 21. But yes, they are kids.
So alcohol is not a solution.
It can't be. And yet there's a dish in the middle of the floor. It looks like it had some food on it. You also notice there's kind of the little beater television in the kitchen because it's that kind of kitchen. And it's basically broadcasting DJ Crowling's, or coverage of DJ Crowling's turfy bullshit, not, a half a mile away from your very windows. Moonflower stops you in particular, Mel, at the door. Because Camilla, I'm presuming you're kind of on damage control. Angie, you can go and try and flop on somebody. Gwen in particular is an excellent scritcher. I might make Gwen out to be the villain. Gwen is a very misunderstood young lady. She is doing her best under trying circumstances. She is not a villain, but she's also the troll in the house occasionally, so just want to be clear there.
She's a teenager. I mean...
Yeah. I forget. As I was writing my relationship charts...
Dog that's so big it's not a wolf, we swear.
Yeah. As I was writing my relationship charts, I got through the fact that, everybody kind of feels a way about Gwen until, I got to, Sam, who's just the best, who's just kind of she's a fucking kid. What are all... we ever tried giving her a break? Anyway, but
you're doing things and causing trouble.
Yeah.
Stop.
Just
yeah. Camilla, people are listening to you a little bit, but everyone's kind of just wants to get their last point in about how right they actually are. Ben actively retreats when you walk in, and just kind of looks out a window. But yet Moonflower stops you, Mel. Kind of I know that I'm kind of the hippie here, and I get that no one wants to hear about auras and vibes, but this isn't This isn't them, even though it's doing a very good imitation of them.
Shit. Yeah. Cool. Why don't we unplug that TV, first of all?
I did try. I was snapped at, but maybe with Camilla running distraction there, I might be able to get in there without losing my fingers. But I don't think this is an earthly concern.
No. Yeah. Okay. Can I sense worm?
Can you sense worm? You may absolutely sense worm.
Okay, hold on, let me look up how I do that.
Yeah, it would help if you know what you're looking for, but I can certainly help you look up.
Let me see. Hold on. How do I search for pages? Oh, here we go. 156. Sense worm. Level 1.
And Camilla, give me charisma empathy to see whether you're taking the top off of any of this.
Okay.
Lucina starts crying, by the way.
Oh, no, no, no. Also, fuck you for using my dog's name. I'm immediately protective of her. Okay, so I add my charisma plus my empathy, and I roll that many dice.
Yes. So
Okay.
it looks to me like it'll be 7.
Yes.
And yes, this will be difficulty 7, so we're only counting 7s and up.
Oh, so we're only counting 7s and up?
Yes, and 1s eat successes.
Here we go.
Okay. So I rolled 2 dice over 7.
Okay. Okay, you're getting heard, and there's a lot more kind of flashing you looks because now you're the one who tried to get in between the two dogs, so now they're angry at you, but at least they're angry at you. There's something to be said for that. It's not quite a success, but it's not a failure either. You've at least taken some of the temperature in the room down. Andy, how did we sense worm?
Okay, so I roll perception plus occult. My perception is 3, and my occult is 2. Let's see. That's pretty good. Okay. The difficulty depends on the concentration and strength of the worm's influence. So, okay, so that would be... So sensing a single fomor in the next room would be difficulty 6, while detecting the stench of a bane that was in the room an hour ago would be difficulty 7. Vampires register as worm tainted, save those with a humanity rating of 7 or higher.
Okay.
So, what would you say my difficulty is?
Let's tell me everything you get above 6, but also tell me everything you get above 7.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So I got 2 successes above 7, 3 above 6.
Okay.
Sorry, number counts, right? So it's 6 and up.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay,
yes. 6 and up. Okay. And you don't have to spend anything to do this, right? There's no. Good. Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't see a cost associated with it. Okay. Yes, there is. The worm is in this very room. You're getting it all over. It's almost hard to but 3 is a complete success. It's not just in the room. There's kind of an ambient worm taint in the room. But also you can kind of see little, I was going to say bright, but they're actually kind of dark blottish spots around pretty much everybody in the room except for Moonflower and Camilla.
What about Angie?
Not Angie, sorry,
Okay.
no.
Kill the wolf. No.
No, but Bunny is...
Totally isn't looking up how remote broadcast works. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
They gotta have a satellite truck, right? We can probably go wreck that.
We also might be able to interrupt its signal.
Okay. Unplug it. I unplug it.
Mel just wants to.
They're stealing our power.
So yeah, Bunny, Ben, Gwen, Paris, and Lucina all have concentrated worm
So,
coming off of them.
would I know what causes like worm taint other than vampirism? Because I assume none of them are vampires. I think I would have noticed that before.
Yeah. No, the worm is everywhere. It can be anything. You can eat the worm if you buy some kind of Pentex product or whatever. Like, right? Like, you can eat the worm is kind of like cartoonishly everywhere in a Captain Planet villain kind of way. If you go to a 7-Eleven, like, items in the aisle are just going to radiate worm taint or whatever. So but it's not always going to register in like a way that's like actively dangerous. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's everywhere. It's mass production. It's factory farming, right? It's all of these. It's impossible to live a moral life in the modern world thanks to the worm. But this is different than that. This isn't just like someone gets negative feelings. They don't necessarily manifest the worm, right? Like
Right.
They can just be angry about something. So yeah, this is a little different, and yeah, this isn't something you just didn't notice until now that the worms infected this sanctuary ranch. You guys have been doing a terrible job, if that's true. No, this definitely feels a very recent development.
There were other people here? I've misunderstood a lot of things.
And it doesn't help that DJ Crawling is talking about bathrooms right now on a fucking little analog TV set.
I swear, the only people who care this much about bathrooms, it's just weird. Just who cares? We should all switch. You know what? I'm not going to debate this television screen.
Yeah, I actively try not to notice who's in the bathroom with me. Like,
head down.
That's a concerted effort I make.
Stop trying to talk to me, Rick.
God damn it, Rick.
Okay. So Camilla's kind of everybody cool out. Moonflower's telling me all this. Angie's doing their best. This is just
flopped over onto Gwen. Whatever you were doing, no.
It is adorable.
Yeah.
It's so
More
cute.
than Camila, because they were halfway between, like, what would you say you even do here at Camila? Gwen kind of stops to give scritches because, again, they're not a monster. She's a teenager, which are naturally the worst.
It's her most defensive larval form. Defenseless larval form. Babies are cute. You have to want to take care of a teenager.
Brennan's thing on sometimes elves aren't that great to be around, and that's how he's trying to describe elvish teenagerdom. Just makes a lot of sense. Teenager. It's 2 words. It's 2 words is one of my favorite parts of that entire thing, by the way. I'm saying what you're all saying. Anyway, that's a different show. This show is its own kind of rad. So, yeah, you got worm sign.
If I tell everyone to go back to their worm,
just now, you'll spread the worm out. I don't know.
So that's bad. Okay.
Well, that depends on what you want to do with it.
You want concentrated worm taint, or do you like to spread your worm taint out throughout the day?
I want to be able to add water and shake up the can of my worm taint. Crap.
All right. Moonflower turns off the TV, and immediately, like, Bunny gets in Moonflower's face.
Ooh.
Like, we need to know what's going on out there. You turn that back on right now. Again, Bunny is many things. Brusque and abrasive is some of them. She doesn't tend to raise her voice in the house. She goes and shoots things for a minute and curses about goddamn kids. Like, you know. So just to highlight.
Oh, man, Marty wants to yell, but okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to refresh myself on my GIFs. Very hard to find them.
There is. I found this. If you want, hold on. Let me see what page it starts on. There's actually a very helpful index.
Oh, really?
Like, incredibly helpful. Hold on.
Because, like, once I get to the GIFs, they just kind of start.
Yeah. If you go to page 545 of the rulebook, it lists all gifts alphabetically by name, and then it does the same for fetishes and rights.
Okay, cool.
And then it tells you the page number. It's incredibly helpful, I will say.
Yeah, I also posted a link,
Yeah.
which you can just kind of type the gift you're looking for. It's just a website full of gifts.
Oh, did you?
Oh, that's also helpful.
So,
Oh, yeah, look at
whatever gets us there.
that. I'm going to open that on my phone. Okay. Okay. So Bunny is yelling at Moonflower very unhelpfully.
Yeah, and Moonflower does not know what to do with it.
No,
This is
Moonflower is a gentle Moonflower.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We'll just get into the most center part of the room as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So that if people are going to yell, they can yell at me. And I will start stomping on all the broken plate bits.
Okay. So you're going to counter with maturity. Got it.
I'm just kind of trying to be like, everyone yell at me.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Like,
Well,
everyone, I'm trying to get their
draw Bunny's
attention. Kind of,
Yeah. Like, Bunny's just kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? So again, similar to the way Camilla did it, you've certainly gathered their ire, but you haven't really taken the top off of it at all.
What? So as someone who talks to spirits, as a theurge, would I know any way to kind of would I know anything about this? Would I know how to try and dispel this concentrated worm?
This sounds like an umbral problem to you.
Okay.
If there's worm taint, it's likely to manifest in some way in the Umber that you can actively like interact with in a way that you wouldn't be able to in the Tellurian here. That's the real world for you folks at home. So this is probably a sidestep and see what's going on beyond the veil here.
Okay. Well, then I will just say, everybody, come on. This is what she wants. The DJ growling. What did she write? What was her books? Larry Trotter and the Wizard's Rock. It's very derivative.
I heard there were several lawsuits in England by a crazy lady.
Claims to write all her novels on napkins. It's weird. So yeah, just I know this fucking sucks. Language. I know this fucking. I did it again. I know this regular sucks.
Did you think sucks was the word you needed to imagine?
I know this fucking stinks. Everybody.
There we go. There are ladies and children present.
But absolutely breaking plates and watching her screed about what I do on my company 15 is not helpful. And who let that cat in here? Just, I don't know if anybody else could hear that, but my cat's very upset. Rightfully so, Mouse, thank you.
The real problem.
I'm going to take care of this. We're all going to take care of this. Me, Camilla, kind of look at Angie, our emotional support, tech support. Wolf. Dog, regular dog.
Our emotional and tech support, regular dog.
Regular dog in the middle of pulling out her iPad to see what she can do about a satellite broadcast from here.
And we're going to, it's just so, everybody microwave a goddamn burrito, a gosh dang burrito. That's going to be cool. I can't tell any of you to smoke a joint or drink alcohol. I would never condone such a thing among minors.
Gwen, Lucina, and Paris all like look to Bunny and Ben like. I mean, an adult said it though, right? Like,
I would never condone such a fucking thing among minors. Language.
Ben,
Also, those are just like vices that don't help solve the problem. They just temporarily distract you from the
you've
problem.
lost him again. All three of them are just.
You medicate your way, I'll medicate mine.
This is the most Gwen and Paris have gotten along in weeks, though. So.
I gave them a common enemy. Me or them or fucking, I don't remember. let's just go to. Let's.
Ben breaks a dish and walks out of the room because right now werewolves are trying to solve problems, and Ben has a history. And they're Ben's dishes. He feels he's got it right.
It's just wasteful. I don't think porcelain doesn't grow on trees.
It doesn't.
It's true.
Yeah, I'll look at Camilla. Like, that is the best I can do. I know that wasn't your way, but
I mean, it got their attention.
yeah, and I'll kind of try and make a gesture for like there's worm everywhere. Like, wait,
Sure.
like I hope maybe we have some sort of sign for it. Like,
When you start making wild signs at Camilla, I'm just gonna mind speak to you. Like, what are you trying to
oh
say to me?
Jesus. This place is worm tainted to hell. We need to step sideways, milady. I don't. Am I supposed to be? It's your head. I don't know. Get in. Walk out the room.
Okay, so just everybody take some time to yourself. Maybe center yourself. Maybe Moonflower, you can help with people centering themselves. And me and Mel are going to see what we can do about this situation. So, everybody just like come together right now. This is a real family moment. So.
Yeah. Paris and Gwen are now actively just on their phones, cold shouldering everybody. Lucina is still like sobbing at this point. Like they're just head down and crying. Bunny's mad and doesn't know who she's mad at now. But she knows it's somebody in this room, pretty sure. And again, Ben kind of stormed out a little bit as soon as Werewolf started talking.
I'll give Lucina a box of tissues and a big hug and give her a squeeze and tell her it's going to be okay.
Okay. Moonflower starts cleaning up plates because Moonflower doesn't know what else to do. She kind of nods like, you should probably go. Go ahead.
Yep, I let Gwen up. Is she just on her phone at this point?
Yeah, just kind of.
Okay. Because, I probably shouldn't do anything too intense with the iPad where other people can watch.
Sure.
There is an extent of, what is the dog doing?
Yes.
What the dog
That I
doing?
should avoid.
Yes.
And I think hacking a newsfeed and interrupting a live broadcast is something that I shouldn't really let someone watch over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, how am I going to do that?
How are you going to do that? That is not going to be easy because they certainly have redundancies built into their broadcasting.
Do you have
so that if one feed fails, the others pick up. So,
do you have GM Technology, the gift?
No. I mean, yeah, it's... Let's see. If you're trying to do it fast, it will be Wits Technology. If you want to take your time and sit down and do it, you might want to do it from the Umbra, or you can roll Intelligence Technology. But then it will take more time.
How much time is more time?
I mean, these people exist in a modern world. You're going to have to get past firewalls. I don't know. I'm not really very good at technology myself, so but it will take the better portion of an hour to try to dedicate your actions to trying to interrupt this broadcast.
Okay, in that case, Angie's gonna kind of look back and forth between Mel and Camilla, and then look up to the clock like, what's the timetable we're working on here? Like, if we have to sidestep, how soon should we do that?
On all of your phones, clock emoji ? Shows up.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Gonna turn to Mel like,
I'm gonna say like immediately. I don't think it's gonna get better with time. I'll go to our closet.
Could you move your legs? Actually,
Yeah.
Could you move your legs?
Yeah. Just I'll open the door where we have the thing and just be like, who put their scooter in my special closet?
Well, ultimately, it doesn't make too much of a difference. I'm either rolling 6d10 or 7d10, so let's go with the quick option.
Okay.
Even if you just embarrass them briefly, that's a win in my books. Like,
okay, yeah. What difficulty is this?
We're looking at 8s and 9s here. We need to really.
Okay, I have 2 successes and no failures.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of.
If I can, I just want to replace their newsfeed with the annoying dog song I posted earlier from Undertale.
Okay. Very good. So, what we're going to say is you don't get that necessarily on like network. You're not interrupting the networks anytime soon. But what you do is like the little laptop that they're using to use the PA and generate this turfy nonsense that DJ Crowling is putting into the immediate air. You hijack that to now play an annoying dog song, and now she keeps trying to go on about this serial killer book that she's writing. That's like no more progressive than the original Psycho was, and just gets drowned out by this. She looks a bit like an asshole real quick. Everyone decides it's the best to take a commercial break at the moment. CNN goes back to Wolf Blitzer, who's confused. Sorry, Dog Thunder. Dog Donder. And the texts are kind of furiously just kind of like, I don't know. Whose YouTube playlist is this? So yeah, you've successfully at least made them look like assholes for a little bit. More than they were showing their own asses, but unfortunately some people are likely to agree with them. All right, so yeah, you've successfully at least bought yourself a little time of them not getting free press.
Neat.
Yeah. And you just know Twitter's going to have a field day with that. Like,
yep.
That'll be remixed. Fox
Yes.
Fox Thunder or whatever that guy's name is going to be
Yeah.
showing his whole ass on TikTok later.
So this was done by a dog just very intensely booping their nose against a touch screen.
Yes. Y'all should feel embarrassed.
So what does it look like when we step into the Umbra?
Yeah. And since, I mean, this is literally your cairn, you just got a little closet you just walk through. There actually is no, you don't have to find like a hand mirror and step through it. You have a direct link to this holiest of places. First things first, you walk through, we'll even say it's kind of like a wardrobe or something. I don't know. Give it some whimsical, magical device.
Here I was trying to avoid calling it Werewolf Narnia.
Yeah. No, don't. Let's not bother. Why start to lying to each other now? But yeah, so you guys step through, and first things first, there is no cabin in the Umbra, right? You've got your little glade. It's literally like a rock because there's always kind of like a pride rock-looking rock, and it's surrounded by water, and it's chill and pristine. You can see where the cabin is in shadows, like you can see where the walls are and everything like that, but you could walk straight through them. They're not real here. The entire landscape is completely different here. You can see the hills, which kind of loom even taller than they are in real life, ominously filled with silver. And it's just kind of like a purple field from horizon to horizon. There's this glade, and you can see, again, the shapes and the kind of brief spirits of everyone that you're kind of living with. And then as the horizon stretches out, you can see, well, we'll get to what you see out there and DJ Crowling and her whole mess. But more immediately, you actually see in starker profile than usual. Like they actually almost appear like they're see-through, but almost present. Ben, Bunny, Gwen, Lucina, and Paris. Like they almost feel corporally here. And each of them has something kind of like coming out of or stuck into their backs. They're each being whispered to, shouted at, like manipulated by these. You'd call them Banes because you don't have another name for them. You've never seen anything like this. You did turn off the TV, so you've kind of cut off the immediate thing that was kind of like loosing the poison in the house. But off in that distance, you can see this kind of looming shadow, and above you is the many-wanged avatar of patriarchy.
Damn.
Kind of slowly overshadowing and reaching towards the silvered mountains behind you. But each of the girls and Ben here have kind of like a personal spirit that is making everything worse. Bunny has rage. Her rage has become manifest and is driving her to be angry at everything. Lucina has this little, like, all these little mouths whispering her dead name in her ear. Every time someone says her name, that's not what she's hearing. Paris has this spirit that's basically telling her that she doesn't belong here. These people aren't like her. And she didn't even choose to be here. Gwen is, like, surrounded in, like, razor blades hanging from thin wire all around her as she doom scrolls through various Reddit threads telling her about how worthless she is. And Ben has this just voice in both ears that's telling him for every person that they've added, it's made their dream less and less real. So each of these people is being personally attacked by their personal brand of negative emotion. Now, you can't, as a theurge, Mel, this is a little different than you've seen, but you can immediately tell that just trying to shred or rip these emotions out isn't going to work. It's building off of something that's part of the person. It needs to be solved. It can't be beat up.
Damn. No.
Much to your chagrin.
Yeah.
Much to
No,
your
but also,
chagrin.
at the same time, I don't want to beat up every problem. Just DJ crawling so badly.
Yeah, no, don't, look.
Yeah, like,
If Witches are Wings, we're all going to beat up DJ Crowling by the end of this thing.
No, just, but yeah, violence is certainly an answer that Mel goes to probably more often than she should, but she does, yeah, she is a Theurge. She understands spirits on some level, so fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. And I looked up Command Spirit, and it says I can't do this, so...
Yeah.
Fuck.
So you do...
That's in character, me saying fuck.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, you've got a number of troubled youths currently in trouble. Well, and Ben and Bunny are both...
My babies. I want to protect
Yes.
them. Oh, I hate it.
So, as the Theurge, you're kind of the one most used to talking to trash spirits, and what are negative emotions but emotional trash? You can try to negotiate with the spirits. You can try and change, like, the parameters here. You can kind of Kirk at Kobayashi Maru this, where you're just kind of like, I don't believe in no-win scenarios. You can... off the top of my head, you could try and change Gwen's feed to not just be Reddit hate threads or whatever. Like, you could... Oh, actually, I have a good idea for that, but I just realized I'm not the player. I
mean, I have a good idea for that.
Go for it.
She's gonna just slowly find herself, instead of on Reddit doom scrolling, just cute animal pictures.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, here's bunnies doing work, here's wolves every hour, here's raccoons every hour, here's possums every hour. It's just all of the, like, suddenly that phone is just, like, showing just wholesome content.
Hedgehog a Day is one of my favorites.
Yeah. Any two animals that are unlikely friends.
Aw.
Who can resist? Buddy and Kitty. Okay. Let's see. It's a shame I can't make you roll occult technology there.
Why not?
I mean, I guess you're right. This is the Umbra, and you're kind of dealing metaphorically here. Actually, that's a worse roll. I don't want to give you just a worse roll. See, roll wits technology. It's a much because now you can negotiate with the spirits. So you can kind of you're not hacking through nose bumping an iPad. You're hacking by telling the net spiders to change the channel. So we're looking for a 6.
It's a literal
Okay,
win.
6.
Mm-hmm.
That is 2 8s, a 9, and a 1.
Okay. All right. So 2 successes. You've managed to change the channel on them, so they're not actively looking up self-harm right now. But I don't know that it's necessarily addressed the underlying. You've addressed the medicine they're trying to apply it, and you definitely see the spirit shrink.
Oh no, I'm putting a band-aid on this that is
Yeah.
like a deep wound, so.
But it does work a little bit. Like you can kind of see the shadow of Gwen kind of be like, "What the fuck? I don't want to look up. Is that a porcupine?" No, porcupines are actually pretty cute. And so it's not making it bigger, and it's not getting worse for sure. So you've dampened the flame there.
So I have a proposition.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a gift called Call of the Wild.
Okay.
That basically, I can, from what I understand, is that I can, howl or, do a call.
Mm-hmm.
And then the storyteller determines the effects as appropriate to the purposes to which it is being put out. So my proposition is, could I use that call to put forth my emotional love and support and kind of wrap the spirits of these people in love and acceptance and support that I feel for them.
Okay. I like that. I was going to say you can, it's usually meant for kind of summoning or rallying allies, or you could unnerve the spirits. But you're going to kind of boost your allies here. I like it. It doesn't look like it costs anything, but it's stamina plus empathy.
Yes. So I think that's a 5 for me. Doo-doo. Okay. I did get 1 failure, but then I got a 9, 2 10s, and a 3.
Okay. And by failure, do you mean a 1 or just...
Yes, a 1.
Okay. So I forget in OWAD if 10s count as double successes or they're just good. Or you re-roll 10s? Shoot, I should have looked up some basic... re-roll the 10s. Let's go with that.
I got a 2 and a 7 off of that.
Okay. All right, so we're going to consider that a complete success. Now, that's not immediately going... You're dealing with supernatural banes here. It's not going to immediately overcome. But you have completely bolstered each of the baned individuals. So each of the banes shrinks even further down. The whispers recess from Lucina's ears. Paris kind of is not muttering as much and has gone much quieter. Between that and Gwen's bunnies, you actually can see that Gwen has gone to her Pinterest board and is looking at cute dresses right now. So Gwen's kind of the most successfully kind of on safe ground right now. Bunny's kind of wondering why she's so mad, but is still very much stoked underneath of that. In a way, it's kind of nilled out for Bunny. Now she's more righteously angry at the crowd outside and the cause of her problem. She's at least properly turning her rage outside than within, but that's not necessarily been mitigated. And Ben's problem is kind of lessened the least, but the three girls have all gotten better, and you would even say that you don't need to concentrate on Gwen as much because you think she's at least solved for the short term.
Okay.
You
Just
have
trying to wrap them
successfully
all in
rolled
one
to
thought.
de-harsh vibes.
Yes.
Just kind of wrap them all in a nice warm hug.
Yes, and again, your howl was a howl of love and support, and that's definitely what they needed in this moment. Now, Bunny and Ben are just a little bit older, so like love and support isn't necessarily their silver bullet here, but it definitely, like, again, Bunny bothers to focus her anger outward, and it's tougher to get a read on what Ben's feelings are. Ben is starting to kind of rebuild the good that they've done here. It's just everything's shitty right now, and Ben doesn't know how to control it. That's really Ben's problem, is loss of control at this point. It's changed from, I don't need nobody. The only person Surly looks out for is Surly. And now has turned more into, but now what?
Is he maybe taking a lot of this like personally? Like this is his fault kind of a thing? Or is that not something I'm able to discern?
No, you've got empathy powers and you're on the Umbra. Let's roll. What do you like? Let's do. Make sure I'm in the right one. Oh, your mental isn't your best suit.
No.
Let's go.
I'm more of a feelings gal.
Yeah. Let's go charisma empathy. Because again, things are kind of metaphorical here. You're not just trying to look and see it. You're actually kind of trying to coax this out of their spirit.
Okie dokie.
And 6. We'll go with
6. Okay. Man, rolled a lot of 5s, unfortunately.
Oof.
2 successes.
All right. Well, how many 5s did you get?
3 5s.
Okay. So you have a very good lower tier success, and then an okay regular success. Yeah. What you're getting is Ben just wanted to do something. Like Ben wanted to flee their past. They wanted to build something and make something of themselves. And at every step, it's like, oops, now there's werewolves. Now Bunny's pissed off the locals. Now as soon as it got kind of chill again, Paris kind of gave these Nimrods an inroad with a absolutely nonsense story, which then now has, I don't know that you guys know that the big money's coming yet necessarily, but you guys know that now there's a silver fucking mining operation in town. That's kind of like, hey, how much for that ranch? Like, everything's gotten way more complicated than Ben ever wanted. Ben wanted a very simple life where trans people came to a fucking sheep ranch and they sold knickknacks on Etsy for their top surgeries, right? Like, I mean, that's all fucking Ben wanted, and now here they are in this whole shit. But it's currently being amplified by this Bane into, it's everyone's fault everyone who's attached themselves has become dead weight. And again, some of that's alleviated. Like, it's not Bunny's fault. Bunny was pointing out a real hypocrisy of like, how the fuck do you have Nazis in your July 4th parade? Paris was genuinely trying to alleviate the financial burden on the ranch so they could use those funds for other things. They can't quite see through that fog yet, but Ben is at least enough to stop blaming everyone as if they intentionally sandbagged his dream.
Okay, yeah.
Mel. What does the urge do?
So, I think at this point, now that it seems to be waning a little bit, I would like to try and reason or negotiate with the spirit in some way.
Okay. How would you like to get, like, do you want all of their attention, or are you going to kind of artisanally bespoke negotiation? Because Banes are a spirit. They're fucked up, but, like, as a Bonar, you're used to dealing with fucked up spirits a little bit more, I think. Not exactly an Uktana, but, like, you're still kind of like, yeah, look, if you can give them what they want and it doesn't cost you anything, they'll fuck off. Like, we can all pony up some gnosis and these fuckers would go, ghost us or whatever. But yeah, how do you want it? Do you want to command all of their attention? It's kind of like, listen up, fuckwads. You're gonna leave these girls alone, or do you want to kind of like approach Paris's spirit and then approach Lucina's spirit, etc.? Like, what's your...
How much time do we have left? Let's see. I'm very torn because, like, I think it would be better to do it individually. At the same time, I think Mel would huck a spiritual battery at them all at once and be like, "You fuckers, you're gonna leave these goddamn kids alone." But I'll do that centered sighing that I've been told to do, and approach them individually. So yeah, and in no particular order. So whoever is literally closest to me, I will go with first.
Okay. So yeah, I feel like you have two major pathways here, and yet you can determine a third, fourth, or other paths yet to be determined. You can speak directly to the girl's spirit and Ben's to increase their resistance to it, which is kind of what CC did. And actually really what Angie did too was, kind of take away the negative feed. Or you can approach the spirit directly. So you can speak to kind of the shadow of the person. Like, you can keep telling, again, I don't want to dictate your ideas for you because you can take anything like it. But like, Lucina's being dead named by the spirit. You can try and convince the spirit that's not cool. You can try and convince the spirit, like, to move on. Or you can start bolstering Lucina's spirit that she has seen Lucina and valid, or what have you.
Yeah. No, talk to the bad spirits. I think that is more Mel's deal.
Yeah, for sure. I also agree that I think that's more Mel's deal.
Camila can do that way better than I would. I'll be like, hey, man, just feel good about yourself, I guess. Like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Be not cry.
Yeah. There's a TikTok song or sound that keeps playing in my head, which is, "Do you want a beer? He's 4. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know, man."
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. All right. So let's start with Lucina's. You have like all of these little like shitty mouths that are just constantly kind of like coiled around Lucina and not letting Lucina hear the truth about herself. They're trying to get between her and herself. Also know that you guys can whistle up identity if you need to. Identity, your pack totem, that can kind of help. You can draw on for gnosis and willpower and things like that. They are somewhere nearby, almost certainly, because this is where they live. But yeah, so like we can kind of speak about it abstractly, and then we'll talk about like what kind of role is that? Like what are you trying to? Are you offering the spirit something? Are you threatening the spirit? Are you trying to intimidate them off their spot? Are you like, hey, you get your damn hands off her?
I will say, I will ask the spirit. Spirit, what do you want? Why her?
We were summoned here. Summoned here. We are here to make her feel bad. Feel bad.
Why? Who?
Now, I must remind you, these are all like stalked mouths.
Right, yes.
But they all turn their stalked mouths towards DJ Crowling and this giant,
of course. I mean,
shadowy,
God damn her,
many-wanged patriarchy spirit.
I will very briefly glance at Camila, be like, see? Could it? No. There are coyotes in these. It's fine. It's just, it could have really could have made
coyotes. Yes, we have no problem with the girl. But we are summoned here.
So what do you get out of it? What can I give you? Can you bother me?
I cannot insist enough. Their mouths on stalks, but they seem as if they're sniffing you. It's tough to say. that are trying to kiss you. It's
No.
off-putting.
I asked.
Yeah, it's off-putting at whatever
unless
level.
that's what you need to leave the poor girl alone.
Now I'm just
You do not have
imagining,
this.
like the sucking like teeth noise, like as they're trying to like smell with their mouths.
I am picturing like little alien mouths from the movie Alien, not the.
Yes. Let's see. You were talking to. All right, you're talking to a despair spirit. You could offer despair. I was about to say you have nothing to offer them, but that's not necessarily true. You certainly have got some despair. But are you then going to go spirit by spirit and let all their negativity in on you? You're certainly welcome to do that. I think it's a very badass protectory thing to do. But yeah, you get the sense it doesn't know how to put it in words, but it wants despair. It wants to make you feel bad instead. And I'll kind of run down as to abbreviate this a little bit that Lucina is despair, Paris is isolation, Gwen is self-harm, Ben is pride, and Bunny is rage. I'll repeat them if you need me to. But Lucina is despair.
Okay. Hold on. My pen stopped working halfway through, which did not help. Let me get a better.
I got you.
Okay. Lucina, despair.
Paris is isolation. She just wants to go home. She doesn't feel like she belongs here. Gwen is / was self-harm. Ben is pride, doesn't need nobody, and Bunny is rage.
I guess some of them. Not that they don't make sense. It's just Ben's pride. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just...
That's a little bit more of the reach.
No, again, not that it doesn't fit. I understood viscerally what he was feeling. I just didn't know what the sin associated with it was. Sorry, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not missing something. Crap. Yeah, I will say... Oh, thank you. I will say to the spirit, yes, you are causing me great despair currently with what you are doing to this poor girl. Take it. Or me, or whatever you need.
All right, how sincere is Mel being?
Sincere. She may... Half of this is an act. She genuinely cares for these kids. And Ben. She likes Bunny too, but in a way it's kind of like, Bunny doesn't need me.
Sure.
Ben doesn't want to need us, but he does. And these girls definitely need us.
Yeah. All right, so you can roll manipulation occult, which isn't your best roll.
It's not, but...
Or you can let this Bane have 2 points of rage, and it will leave Lucina alone.
It can take 2 points of rage.
Okay. The mouths kind of like uncoil from Lucina and kind of leap at you, and you definitely feel drained. And you do actually have this kind of lingering, like, anything that might haunt, Mel late at night. Like, that way you're just kind of like, man, I was really mean to that person in 3rd grade. And for some reason I'm thinking about that at 1 a.m. Like, whenever does that to Mel, like, kind of is in active review behind her eyelids right now. But you have successfully dealt with, we'll say that even though it's just kind of like a little nugget inside of Gwen, you have a feeling that it's kind of a little nugget inside of Gwen all the time, right? Like, Lucina feels this despair a little bit every day, but it usually isn't a giant spirit monster that's actively prohibiting her from hearing the truth about herself. So you've successfully dealt with Gwen and Lucina's spirits.
Okay.
I'd like to mind speak to Mel and just check in with her and make sure she's doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think you hear. I don't quite know how mind speak works. I don't know if it's like true telepathy or if it's more like message.
I believe it's more like message from
Okay.
what I understand.
Because you very faintly would probably hear, what's even the fucking point then? But that's like almost like yelled from a distance. And she will say, I am fine. We're almost there.
Okay, well, just remember that we're here. We're in this together. You don't have to do this alone. I know you're the best at talking to the spirits and everything, but we can help too. You can lean on us. We got you.
Uh,
Are you doing the telepathic thing instead of actually just talking again? Because that's what's happening right now. Because I'm getting half of a conversation.
Oh, I'll include you in on the mind speak. Yeah. Sorry, I just
Forget we're on the other side right now. Angie can actually talk.
I just didn't want the gross mouth spirit thing to hear. So
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Okay.
just trying to pep talk Mel here. Let her know she's not alone. We're here too.
Speak of not alone. Paris's spirit is actually a series of little mini goblin hands that is building brick by brick a wall around Paris.
Mordery, no.
You knew I was a snake, bitch.
Have you been here the whole time?
Mordery goes what she wants. I went to technical school.
Okay, 2 down, 3 to go. Paris. Isolation. You stinky bitch. Yeah, would anyone else like to take one of these spirits? Otherwise, I will do it all. I don't want to be like hogging things, but I'll do it.
Yeah, so isolation, once again, you can try to appeal to Paris that that's simply not true. Now, so Paris thinks none of these folks are like her, in a very literal sense. She was brought here. She didn't volunteer to come here. She was brought here, and it did almost certainly save her life, but it wasn't necessarily like she didn't seek this place out. So also she's kind of different in that way. And she actively wants to go home. She misses her brother. She didn't ask for this, and etc. So just to kind of give you both some background on Paris's deal, and also the kind of like thing that this thing is leveraging to try and make her feel worse. So again, any of you can appeal directly to Paris's sense of belonging. Actually, she has made strides here, and it is good for her. Certainly has helped raise her media or social media profile. It's a little shallow, but it's not nothing, right? She certainly takes a pride in that you might be able to help bolster. And I will say that already the Call of the Wild has worked a bit to bolster all of them a little bit, but we're kind of counting that as 2 strikes in favor of Paris and 1 strike for Bunny and Ben. So you can try and appeal directly to Paris and try and be the louder voice, or you can try and negotiate again with this isolation spirit to see if you can give it something that it wants to go away. Does anybody have?
I have an idea, but I'm not sure how to go about it. What is Paris actually doing right now? Is she just like also on her phone or something?
Yeah, she's kind of scrolling on her phone. She's probably looking at pictures of like the neighborhood kind of thing, like checking back on her friends' Instagram feeds and things like that back home. Like I'm imagining that kind of like very much distant from here. She doesn't even want to Instagram right now, so it's dire.
What I want to do is to have her phone sent her a notification for a text she'd probably already gotten. That's from her brother saying that he's proud of the work that she's doing there. Like, I saw all of the stuff you're doing with this place's social media. It's so cool. You're doing great. Just like,
Okay.
it's text she may have gotten weeks, months ago, but for whatever reason, her phone's giving her a notification for it again.
Okay. Yeah, let's do. Yeah, this is definitely you trying to affect technology again. So let's
Weird how
do.
I keep doing that.
No. I look. When you're a carpenter, every problem looks like a nail, and you're doing it well. Yeah, let's go straight up intelligence technology. Like I really want to make you roll like manipulation or charisma, but
No.
again, I don't want to weaponize your tertiary social skills against you either.
A lot of threes.
Okay.
It's 4 threes, a 1, and 2 8s.
Okay. All right. That's one
Instead
success.
of having to boop an iPad, I just turn my head, yell at a spider, say code at it, and a thing happens.
So you do that. The spider wildly misunderstands what you want to do necessarily, but you do feel like you did something. It's kind of like, got it. And I will tell you immediately, it texts question mark to her brother from her phone. We'll see the results of that in a minute. So, do we want to stay focused on, like, do we want to spread out our efforts? Does anyone want to take Bunny or Ben?
I kind of feel like Mel might be the best person to understand Bunny.
What the fuck does that fucking mean?
Hey, angry lady made of swear words. Go help the other angry lady made of swear words.
It does make a lot of fucking sense.
Mel fucking Gorley, you got this.
Did I tell you my nickname?
What the hippie said.
Yeah, I'll go take it. I'll go try and handle Bunny. I am more concerned for Ben, but I don't think swearing at him, being like, look, all I want to do to solve your problems is be a werewolf at it. Why don't you like that?
See, I don't love the way that searching this is going. This is absolutely going to tell me about this fucking video game, isn't it?
Helping.
Okay, no, good. There is a whole wiki about it. Okay. I just want to see. Actually, let's do. Camilla, roll manipulation empathy.
Okay. What am I looking for?
6.
Okay. That'll be 2 successes, no failures.
Okay. Mel, regain 1 point of rage.
Thank you.
You were just told you could fucking do this.
I'll take it.
I used the fuck word for you. Just to let you know.
Garage.
Paris's phone rings. Paris's shadow gets up and leaves the room to go answer the call. The spirit does not go with her.
For a second, I thought you meant the spirit got up and left. I was just like, what? No. Okay, I got you now.
No. Her shadow gets up and kind of like walks through this wall, and Mortary's just kind of there like, oh, Mortary's bricks.
Fuck off, Mortary.
Mortary starts gathering bricks and putting them in this pouch that is most of its body. Yeah, it's really gross. All right, so
Nice and gremlin.
you're approaching Bunny. Yeah, Bunny is rage. They want to fight, right? I mean, that's kind of Bunny's whole thing was that they couldn't let anything sit, right? Like Bunny can't let it go unaddressed. Even when sometimes it would be wiser to maybe shut the fuck up, Bunny's not that girl. And it's also part of what makes Bunny great. But again, it was very much turned within the four walls at first. And now there's kind of an opening where they're looking outwards, but they still just want to like shoot DJ crawling in the head, maybe on live television. And you can still just imagine that's not going to be.
No, that makes you an X-Men villain.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah, so I'll go to Bunny and say, punch me.
You're not on the same plane as Bunny. But I like it a whole lot. All right, so are you talking to the spirit or are you talking to Bunny?
Yes.
Okay, that's an acceptable answer.
Like that answer.
Yeah, let's do charisma empathy. Occult seems like it's more the gift steal, but I don't think negotiating with spirits isn't directly occult. Empathy, really, you're dealing with a fucking rage spirit.
Okay. An 8 and a 10.
Okay. Reroll
So
10s, I think we've
reroll,
determined.
right?
Mm-hmm.
6.
Okay. Yeah, you can kind of see Bunny kind of straighten up. And again, you're mostly dealing with kind of like a spectral see-through Bunny. The Bunny kind of like responds as if they can hear your voice. And it's kind of like barbed, prickly, like red larfleeze looking, thing that's perched on Bunny's back, kind of like swings and hisses at you, just kind of like, go away, this one's mine, or whatever. And Bunny kind of like looks around as if kind of, again, the kind of shadow of Bunny is looking around for like this thing that wants her to punch it and kind of can't find it. And I'll kind of describe the effect here is that you've actually kind of helped Bunny see the absurdity of the fact that like punching something wasn't going to help. Spiritually, you've annoyed the spirit to leave Bunny and lunge at you. It's going to do an attack. But it will leave Bunny, and you will have successfully negotiated my Bunny puzzle.
I'm no stranger to rage, kid. Sadly, it's not a fucking superpower.
Okay, that's hilariously ineffectual. It got 1 success and 1-1, so it's ended up at a net 0. And yeah, once again, rage is not a superpower. It lunges at you, and leaving the host, which was the source of its rage, doesn't realize that it's kind of stepped off the ledge of the cliff, Looney Tunes style, and falls, just dissipates as soon as it leaves Bunny. So it comes really close to you, snapping jaws and gnarly teeth, but yeah, it just fucks off.
Fuck off.
Neat.
So you fuck around, and then you find out.
Find out.
See, I knew that you could do it.
I did.
I knew you
too.
were the best one for the job.
Looked like you were gonna get your face ate. Glad you didn't.
Me too, There are very few days where I would like my face hate.
And then something happens. Like, Bunny's shadow goes out into the front room. You can see what you would normally see, which is just kind of like the dark, like kind of like making him sound like a greasy smear does not make it sound good, but like usually you can just kind of see the impression of people. Like, again, seeing these shadows has been because of this kind of Bane amplification. It's actually carried half of them to the Umbra in a way. But they're kind of starting to regress back to like just kind of like you know that people are here and moving around and doing things, but you don't actually see the people. But a lot of the shadows are going to the front room where Ben is. Like you can kind of see Bunny's like kind of walks through you and goes from being this kind of spectral, half image to that kind of dark impression. you knew that Sam and Danny were already there, but you know, and then it seems like you can kind of hear Gwen's chair scrape, and their kind of impression goes to the front room. And they stop and offer the impression of a hand back to Lucina, and they all go to the front room. And you start to see Ben's spirit start to kind of blanch and just like lose any kind of grip. It like keeps trying to scrabble at Ben, but just kind of dissipates into smoke. The Banes were the friends we made along the way.
And now Mel's got one attached to her.
It's fine. I got
No,
I got despair or something.
it suckled on her rage and is contentedly leaving. It's real gross.
It'll never haunt us again.
I'm sure it will never come back to bite us.
This many-wanged demon of the patriarchy.
That is still slowly overarching the sky there.
Yeah, you can't smash that in one take.
It looms.
Yeah.
And somehow you're all under a wang. It's just like, yeah. It's drooping right over you, telling you what to do.
You are not the boss of me.
No. No. So here's an interesting question. From here, what are the spiders doing at that broadcast site? Is there some way I can, like, from in here sort of get an idea of the weave more specifically what they're doing?
You can certainly try. I will tell you these are almost certainly Bane spiders, so they're not as reasonable. Like, you actually have a pretty good spirit, or a decent rapport with a Weaver spirit. You don't immediately consider them to be bad, so that automatically starts you guys off on the right foot. But these will certainly be corrupted. They're in the service of patriarchy, Pentex, and they're spitting out Banes. You can kind of see these same kind of Banes spitting out onto these crowds. All these drunken rednecks and stuff. Like, there's a whole, like, I don't know, what's Bobcat Goldthwait in Hercules? All this kind of like little impy demons.
Pain or panic.
Yeah, like a lot of pains and panics out there, kind of reveling in the crowd like it's their own Coachella.
I'm sorry, I never realized that was Bobcat Goldthwait, and that's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Because now that you've said it, of fucking course it was.
Yep, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
We just rewatched Hercules. Holds up. Very good.
Yeah, I remember putting it off for the longest time, but being genuinely pleasantly surprised. I think it's got a really good thing going for it.
It's the best Superman movie in the last 30 years.
One of the only Disney movies where the two main characters actually, like, have a relationship and go on a date.
Yeah. I like Megara.
So, with the Bane spiders running around doing things, can I send non-Bane spiders to go in and clone Crowling's phone? Anything that is on her phone, I want a copy of it.
Okay.
All of her logins, all of her socials, all of her contacts.
All right. On this side, it's... Let's see. She's... Because of some things that you don't necessarily know, it is going to be pretty well secure. But you definitely have a better chance on this side where you can kind of just be like, hey, reality, do that thing I like. But in this case, to make it a little harder on you, I don't want to go directly to your strike zone here. So we're going to say this is a manipulation technology.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna cut your dice pool a little bit, but... And even then, we're going to say it's sevens. We're looking for sevens and up.
Well, that's a 10 and a 1.
Okay. We re-roll 10s still. So it's going to eat that success, but if you get another success off the back of the re-rolled 10, You might net something good
That's
here.
another one.
Okay. Well, that's a botch.
I don't like that I can get a failure on a reroll on a 10. That gives me another chance to fail that I wouldn't have when I should have gotten a 10, which is a success.
Okay. I think you've successfully appealed to the
It's that whole, you're better at this, so you have more chances
so
to
you have
fail
more chances
logic.
to fail, which was definitely a bug. So we will say that we're not going to count the second one. You're a net zero. Everyone's favorite web browser. So yeah, we will just consider that to be not a success. You ask several web spiders to go over there, they go over there, and they're just kind of like, it's real crowded with worm over here. We're gonna politely wait. We're gonna queue up. They say it's gonna be our turn any minute now.
Okay.
So it's mostly just not successful. The impressions and shadows of the people back in the Tellurian within the cabin start to be a little excited. There's a lot more like kind of running back and forth a little bit. And you can start to see like those kind of like impish little banes and things like that kind of grasping onto people, are kind of coming out of them like little demonic little stands or whatever. You start to see that some of them might be approaching the ranch.
My first instinct would be to like go out there and see what's going on now. Angie's first instinct is going to be like, I'm going to pull up our socials real quick and see what's happening.
Okay, sure. Let me think about how, because I mean, certainly you guys have allies there, out there. You've got supporters, you've got a Patreon, you've got successful GoFundMe's and stuff like that. So you're seeing a lot of like, it's real fucked up what's happening at hashtag Unbreakable Butterfly right now. Like, who's on the ground right now? Hashtag Unbreakable Butterfly or whatever. You're getting a lot of support, but it's kind of thoughts and prayers-ish, and it's like, great, and send money and stuff, but like, we could use, is anyone here to counter protest or counter mob at all, like, or whatever? And you're not getting a lot of that. You're getting a lot of like couch concerns. However, if you know enough to kind of switch to other hashtags that are starting to locally mobilize to it's time to move, like, fuck this, now's our window kind of things. You're getting a lot of like Mighty 88's chatter that they're on their way. You're getting a lot of like hashtag hillbillies and hams. Like it's Baltimore's finest beer.
Can't believe it. Drinking that swill. It's fueling this rage.
That's for sure made by Pentex, by the way. That and Iron Hill Breweries is just Pentex all the way up and down. So you're afraid that, like, absolutely the forces on the ground are starting to get drunk. It's starting to get late, and they're starting to get inspired. That since no one's poked their head out in 3 days, like before when they've shown up on the property, someone comes out with a gun and frog marches them and sends them home without their beer or whatever. Like, or you guys go out there and make a lot of wolf noises and growls at them in the dark, and they're kind of like, I have a feeling we shouldn't be here anymore. Like, you've managed to successfully negotiate with them before. Now they're kind of feeling themselves again, and they might be trying to encroach upon the property.
And
Problems.
yeah, we should probably go back to Midgard, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yes.
Well, that was going to be my
Meat
question.
face.
If we're seeing these like imps and stuff here in the Umbra, do we get the impression that if we fought them here, that would discourage them IRL, or is that not really how it works?
These are definitely stoking already existing things. So these people already have this kind of like violence in them, I think. Would be like just kind of my knee-jerk answer to you would be it would probably be better to handle this terrestrially, because the Bane isn't the problem. The Bane is making the problem worse, but the Bane isn't at the heart of this. That's pushing them over the edge to try again, to fuck around and find out, but that's not their instinct to fuck around, I would say.
Okay. Back to Earth, back to reality of Serial's gravity.
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
And I definitely have somewhere I want to land, so forgive me if we go a little bit long here, but we can kind of abbreviate some things here.
I'm good to
'cause
go
I-
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So yeah, you get back, and the cabin's a bit of a flurry because they can see on the perimeter, like fences and motion detectors and stuff, that people are trying to get over, like the trench and things like that. There are definitely bodies within the perimeter now. So, Sam and Danny, etc. And it's occurred to me, I've said that combination twice now. I actually did not intentionally name them after the New Mutants leaders, and yet I must have. So, yes, either way, points on me that is absolutely Sam and Danny.
Sam, you're with me. You're nigh invulnerable when you're blasting.
My powers to show people their fears or something, it keeps changing. I can shoot a psychic bow and arrow.
I'm sometimes a Valkyrie.
Sometimes I have quantum powers. I'm a Valkyrie. I can see death. What month is it? I can do that this month. But, like, people are starting to get out the long guns. Like, right? Like, they're kind of, like, getting prepared to be at windows. They're kind of putting things in front of the windows so no one has a clear shot at them. They're turning off lights inside and stuff like that. Floodlights are on outside, so it is going to be tough to get within, like, 40 yards of the actual building without showing your ass, unless you're pretty good. But it's still getting very tense. Something that might require... paws on the ground out there, too, to help alleviate, because certainly if they have long rifles, they can shoot back from a distance and just hope they're hitting and hurting people. So what do you want to do?
Use kinfolk and call in help from online.
Okay. For sure. Yes. Absolutely. I will just say that your request is noted, and we will, you can kind of put out there just kind of like help emoji, hashtag emoji.
I have a gift called Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try and persuade these people to go away.
Okay.
But this is not going to end the way they think it is.
Okay. That's going to require you to be outside.
Yeah, I'm going outside. Sorry.
Okay.
That part was said in my head. I am immediately walking through. Somebody put the scooter back. God damn. I said stay out of my special closet.
It looks apologetic, but not in like a way that like you feel they mean it.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of like, sorry. Hashtag not sorry.
I feel like
just kind of like, who are you hashtagging that to?
We're talking.
A little less Pinterest, a little more interest, Gwen. Hang up and hang out.
The scooter back when Mel isn't looking.
It's been Angie the whole time. So yeah, you guys go out. It's actually it's cold in the desert at night.
Very
Ground does not retain heat very well, so it's a little chilly out here. But you're all werewolves. You're above it.
Before we head out, I'd like to send a quick text to Pine and see if maybe she can rouse up some local support. I'm sure that she would be in touch with anyone that might be sympathetic to our cause locally.
Okay.
I am.
And
not.
yeah, what's the desired result? What are you telling her to do? Like, get people to the ranch to kind of be like, hey, not cool? Are you looking for social media pressure? Like, what are you looking to... what's the best tack here?
Yeah, more of like an SOS, like need help. Things are getting kind of ugly here.
Okay.
I'm sure that I've been texting her over the last 3 days, so she's kind of generally aware of the situation, but just kind of hey, it's ramping up over here.
You got it. Oh, and just to complete one circuit, because of the stray question mark that got sent to Paris's brother called because they're seeing it on the news and are expressing concern and support for them of kind of like, fuck, I wish I'd known or done something different. I'm reflecting on my decisions as a man in the society and where we're at right now. And I hope you're alive. Shit, I'm bad at this. But that has certainly been the thing that helped bolster them out of their isolation. That
You were so close, Paris's brother.
Again, if you remember from the doc, Paris's brother didn't really say one way or the other what they were doing, so it wasn't an act of support expressly. It wasn't explicitly supportive of Paris. It was, I don't want you to die, maybe, and maybe that was good enough. This actually comes through in an explicit sign of support. Like, so good job. Even one success can turn into something good. So
Good job, Milan. That's
yeah.
despite
Yes. So yeah, you guys, very good. So you guys are out in the field, and again, you can hear the sheep bleating. They're all pissed off and upset because there's this fucking PA constantly talking about bathrooms. They don't care about bathrooms.
But are the animals okay?
Very good.
Fucking nailed it.
Very
Sheeple.
good. Got him. That's it, guys. Close down the stream. We made a social commentary. We made a whole social commentary, and Andy did it on himself. Very good. Yeah, so you guys are out in the night. Angie, you are full wolf form, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can do some sniffs if you'd like. We'll just give you the furthest reaching. It's usually wits alertness, but I would give you perception alertness. They're the same roll. Let's say perception alertness just for the flavor of it, that you're actually actively sniffing around to see who's where. And we're looking for a 6, but I'd take any 5s you got.
It's That's 1 5, 3 8s, and a 9. Where is everyone?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Okay, and that'll help because, again, I want to be mindful of time. All right, so you definitely, like, you're clocking a couple things. You're getting big sniffs. I guess you're downwind, turns out. So lucky you. You're getting a lot of beer, some gunpowder in general. A couple people must have been shooting fairly recently. You're getting sweat. You're getting a lot of, like, man fear, right? Because even if they feel pretty emboldened right now, they're still, like, absolutely aware that they're putting themselves in danger. But with that pretty rip-roaring success, you get one that really sticks out on your radar. I would like CC roll a d10, Mel roll a d10, and Angie roll 2d10. Tell me if it's a 5 or better.
5.
10 and a 3. Reroll that 10.
Reroll that 10.
That's an 8.
Okay. What'd you get, CC? 3? Okay. And you did get a 5 on the dot, right, Mel? All right.
Yes.
Okay. You get... Someone's kind of... You're getting one distinct scent that's closer than the rest. And at first, Angie, you kind of clock it as, like, maybe an immediate threat. But it smells of fear, but not like... Not the fear of a fight. Not the anticipation of danger or that they're putting themselves in life in the line of fire, whether they feel righteously or not, or whatever misguided thing they feel. This is a concern. This is someone's fear that's manifesting as, like, a concern for the pack, so to speak. Like, that's the closest analog you have to it. Of just kind of like, it's like when you're worried that someone hasn't come home yet, like, or whatever. So you're getting that and kind of like the rushed heaving breaths of someone kind of approaching. And behind them, you almost don't smell the other person because their shit's together, but they do have gasoline. And that is kind of coming in from like this kind of like from the right angle. A lot of it's kind of coming straight on or from the left, like kind of the left flank. From the like the tent is out there to the left. You can kind of see the spotlights on it all the way out there. This glaring fucking hate pimple that is on the horizon. All the trucks were kind of spread out around where the in-road would be, and that's where a lot of your interlopers are coming. This is kind of coming from a weird flank because it doesn't come from like the town direction or whatever. It's not a natural ingress. And that's where you're getting this kind of concern for the pack, like whatever people would call that. And someone who doesn't smell at all except for extremely of gasoline. Behind that, you hear howls.
Neat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mostly still just growling at all the man stank.
Do you emoji your friends in any way, or are you mostly growling about the man stink?
I'm kind of busy growling at the moment. Like,
Okay.
I'm not actually one to really maul things apart. That's more Mel's territory, but like, a dog that is a full-size fucking wolf growling at you is still going to like.
Sure. Yeah, let's get an ambient intimidation off of that, Angie. Let's do. Oh yeah, no intimidation. I'm gonna just give you a manipulation +1. Just roll an additional 1 because you're a giant fucking wolf.
They're not up to date on their shots. Think about it.
Nice. Up.
It's gonna be horrible.
That's a 7, an 8, and a 10.
Okay, let's re-roll that 10.
Reroll that 10. And that one's a 4.
Okay. So yeah, there's a biker lesbian, either Benny or June, and a wolf standing in front of this thing defiantly, with like a bunch of drunken hillbillies who know they have guns, and you don't visibly have guns, but what does that mean that you do have? And they do have some paws out there in the darkness. You can feel like you can kind of hear a couple stumble steps of like, I don't know, that lesbian looks really confident.
She is.
I don't think this is a great idea, Larry.
It's not.
Yeah, you hear the jingling of keys coming closer to the right. My Hamid form people can get their perception alertness going.
Sorry. Let me see. I'm okay at that.
And it is a 6 because you're not wolves, so you can't hear quite as well, but it is getting closer and more apparent.
Ugh. 1 success.
Pointed in that direction, but whether or not you've noticed that is,
Yeah, 1 success and 8.
I got 3 9s.
Okay. Very good.
Hot dang.
we are on edge at the moment.
Yeah, jeez.
All right. Yeah, Mel, you hear like it's either the jingling of keys or somebody like a dog collar or something. You're not entirely sure what it is. It's heavy breathing and annoying, and there's also wolf howls. You definitely heard wolf howls. You're a little confused what's going on. Camila, you are a little bit more just kind of like like you can hear the dwarf breathing in the dark kind of thing. Like, what is going on? And you kind of look as you get a text on your phone back from Pine that says, help, send help, going in town now. And kind of resolving from the darkness here, I have to look up in my doc. Let's go over here. So, yeah, you see like this dude in a flannel shirt kind of like has a bundle over their shoulder and like a gun, like a revolver, but they're running towards, and like it takes you a second to kind of be like, you know, this person works at the pharmacy. You kind of thought they were cool, and again, they don't seem to be running with the intent of like, they're not angry, they seem very worried. And this is Danny, another Danny. There's allowed to be more than one Danny in my story.
It's a common name.
But yeah, this is Danny Teagan, and he works at the pharmacy, and he is here now. Slightly behind them is someone you don't quite recognize, but as they start to kind of like step closer to the light, Mel, you do. It's Cutter.
Fuck. Okay.
Cutter's like, hey, yeah, I found this kid like half stuck in razor wire, really trying to get through. Said he's here to help. I brought a gun and some gasoline if you guys want to burn the field or whatever. Thought I'd help. I saw you guys on the news. Looks like a real bad deal. How you doing, Mel?
Not good. Not good, Cutter.
Which part?
I think you illuminated a lot of it.
Yeah. Does that kind of like punch you on the shoulder thing? It's the only form of affection they feel comfortable with. Yeah.
Kind of like awkwardly, like just miss.
Yeah. Also, these things have been shadowing us for like ever since we've been over the perimeter, and they don't like they seem more curious than mad. And 4 wolves resolve from the darkness. These are some. Yeah, you rolled 2 successes, so you get hopper, green grass, hot sand, and clear water.
Good.
Some wolves, you know, some of which you helped clear from captivity, and at least 2 of them are kinfolk born, so you can kind of they know the deal here. And they were like, "Yo, you were blowing up on the gram." No, they don't say that.
The wolf gram.
They howl that. Saying that would be stupid. They're wolves.
What you said was dumb. I will just say to Cutter, it's cool. We do some animal training.
Angie actively just like perks up, walks over, sniffs some butts, says some hellos.
Yeah. It's butts all around.
This is normal.
You're into some weird shit, Mel. And Danny's just kind of like, so is Lucina okay, or like what's going on there? Can I go to the house? Like from a window, you just kind of feel like, oh my god, Danny, what are you doing? So like she's good, or like what?
Fucking teenagers.
If I could tell you to get in the house before you hurt yourself, I would.
So,
but
yes.
like,
Does he have a gun? Did you say he had a gun?
He does have a gun.
Give me
He has a
that.
revolver.
Give me that.
I hope it helps.
Get in there.
Is it loaded? Like,
Yes. It's the Southwest. Everybody is gun or gun adjacent.
I mean, you're not wrong.
yeah, just. I'm still concerned. Do I have any
Running
points?
with it? Is that what you're saying?
Say that again. Sorry.
I shouldn't be running with it? Is that what you're saying?
No, you shouldn't. We're climbing through fences. You're supposed to. You know what? You're lucky I have 1 point in firearms, so I am not like just waving this all around.
Do you know why they call it razor wire?
Because it's made of razors, Daniel.
Yeah, I do. I know that now too.
I'm gonna put a hand on young Daniel's shoulder and say, I think what Lucina needs right now is, a friend more than another person with a gun.
Okay though. Oh my god, Danny! Get out! Come here, get. I love you. Lucina's been dating Danny from the pharmacy, you guys.
Aw.
I'm gonna get behind Danny and start pushing him into the house before.
Oh
he
yeah,
gets
it
hurt.
doesn't take long. You know, this is the first time she said "I love you," but like, I mean, you feel like it's a moment for them.
What a moment. I hope you remember it forever. But actually, no, I need you to... Never mind. He wasn't, like, badly hurt, right? I shouldn't be spending... Okay.
No, you don't need to mother's touch him.
Okay.
It's nothing that... some pride and a kiss from his best girl won't
Okay, good.
make better.
Teen mistakes levels of hurt.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
anything dire.
Look, he's a teenage boy. He might be sucking it up to an unhealthy degree. I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. I can see your intestines, Dan. They're supposed to be like that.
All right, so we're gonna aim towards the end here. Is it's you guys and the competence of Cutter, who's just kind of like looking for places to start laying down a line of gasoline.
No, not inside the fence line.
All right, it's your ranch. So we're going to cut to what's kind of the stinger that will lead us into next episode, next month, won't you? So we see rolling thundercloud coming in rapidly, more rapidly than makes sense, though sometimes, storms pop up pretty quickly in the wide open desert. But it's roiling, and suddenly you see little flashes and angry sparks of lightning coming. You see two headlights flanked by individual single headlights. They move too independently to be cars. You can tell that these are definitely the roars of motorcycles. And we're going to kind of give you guys some animated distance here. Angie, I think you have enhanced senses or whatever it is. Like you can, but we're going to zoom in dramatically to a limousine pulls up. And one elongated muskrat gets out of the back of a limousine. As various motorcycles pull up alongside and kind of throw down their kickstands. We zoom in close to Mighty 88 patches because they're real subtle and obviously not Nazis.
That's why the spiders were upset.
And one heavy boot comes down. Another heavy boot comes down next to it. Someone walks up to elongated muskrat. It's just all... I don't like being here with you, but I also don't like what's going on here. And the camera pans up to the face of Duncan Crane.
Fuck.
Hey, Mel, that's your dad. Happy Werewolf's Moss, everybody. There are two other werewolves there, by the way.
Great.
Lightning cracks the sky, the wind begins to howl, and a downpour starts overtaking the tents, the limousine, the motorcycles, and starts slowly encroaching onto the ranch. Good news, that interferes the news feed. Bad news, it's lights out for Werewolf on Werewolf stuff. Next time on Game Grumps. No, that's not us.
No, wait.
Next time on Laughing Dragon Inn. Congratulations, everybody. You solved my emotional feel-bad problems.
We did the easy part, yay!
Because at some point I was just kind of like, Black Spiral Dancers. I'm like, no, it's worse if it's just Guru. It's just Guru and Intolerance. It's just your Nazi dad. So
I was afraid he was the one coming for me. Cutter is not much better. Like,
hey, he's your ally. You all got
he
to roll
is.
to see if your ally showed up.
well, there was a reason why everyone was like calling, like, I'm gonna call. I'm like, Cutter's not gonna help. This is gonna, because then a bunch of Hell's Angels are gonna come in, and that historically ends great.
Yeah.
But no,
Just have the
I
Rolling
love it.
Stones.
I absolutely love it. Yes.
All right, well, let's do some outros and plugs. What do you think, Andy?
Hi, everybody. I hope you enjoyed Werewolf as much as we enjoyed playing it. I think I messed that sentence up. It doesn't matter. I had a great time. Come back next month to see me rip apart my Nazi dad, who is the opposite of my actual father, who is the sweetest bean.
Literal Hobbit. Sweetest bean. Now has the shirt to prove it.
Yes. Wednesday is Star Chasers. Join us for episode 53 in the City of Doors. It's a real city of doors in this world.
Good luck. We don't know anybody from there. I certainly
Yes.
don't.
The cities were the doors we made along the way. CC. Outros and plugs.
Hi, I'm Cece, aka Soup, aka Soupsica, and I also had a whole heckin' lot of fun. You can have a whole heckin' lot of fun too if you would just take my advice and play some gosh dang tabletop role-playing games with your friends.
Think about it, won't you? Jay, take us home.
Hi, Marty, you're doing an excellent job. This episode hits kind of close to home in a couple of things, and I think next month's gonna be real cathartic. Start ripping things apart. So yeah. Remember, trans rights are human rights. I think we've pretty made that, but we have made it pretty explicit where we sit there.
Yeah, very good.
Your friends too.
And thank you for trusting me. You can redress me if I overstepped, but I think I tried to play it relatively safe while also being relatively true to myself as well. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everybody, have a good time. I would like to point out we managed to play things real without having to be explicit or gross or overreaching about anything. You can too. It's pretty easy, actually. Just be respectful of other people, whether or not you feel reflected in that experience or not. But especially if you do. Beyond that, please, this is clearly based, if you know any part of the story, this is clearly based on an actual real place. The Unicorn Ranch out in Colorado actually had these problems. Not necessarily a full-on Nazi incursion, but like had to frog march people off their property at gunpoint. Thanks to Nazis marching in their 4th of July parade. So this is based on a real thing. You can give money to them now. Tenacious Unicorn Ranch. The Trevor Project is out there. Look up trans, charities and fundraisings near you. Or just go find some individual trans person, GoFundMeing their top surgery. Because you know what? That's where your money will really make a difference. So just help people live their truths. Or stay out of it if you can't see yourself through to doing that. It's just not your business. Hopefully you're not. I'd invite you to stop watching our show. I don't know if I'm doing that without Andy's permission, but I feel.
I don't know why you watching
by
if you think
management
that.
here. Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah. No. I felt I was in the right.
Get off our lawn.
Yeah.
I asked once.
But yeah. Again. If you play Werewolf and don't see it as just a lefty fucking fist fest, I don't know what to tell you. You are incorrect about Werewolf. And I'm even making some of the werewolves the bad guys. But yeah, this has been great. Thank you so much. Thanks for staying a little bit extra, everybody. That's been my dollar. This is Marty. Peace out. I love everybody here. Play games with your friends. You have to push a button, Andy. I'm going to skelly hands in the meantime.
Do it.
I'm the DM now.
Oh, no.
So wait, if you're the DM, then did you
We're
push
playing the wrong
button
game.
already?